Howdy, I'm Matt, and in this video we are going to be discussing the absolute beating this little Eachine Blackwing received in the last 24 hours, in short. And also we'll be discussing some considerations which you also need to know about this little Blackwing too. So first off, why am I making this video? Well, number one is because I'm in torment. Okay, in short, is that I just don't know how to rate this wing for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay down the facts and I'm going to leave this to you to make your own informed decision. And of course, if you've got any questions or comments, you can do that underneath this video. And do keep in the back of your mind, this was not a freebie for a review. I paid, what was it, $39.99, whatever it was, out of my own pockets. And yeah, we did abuse this wing really hard yesterday, as you can tell. Oh, you might get an inclination by the tape kicking around on it, and goodness me, you wait till you see the bottom of it. It has definitely seen better days. So let's talk about this wing, the Maiden. First things first is the CG mark is utter rubbish, in short, and I'm sure you've probably already seen the Maiden flight, is that the marked CG, which you'll see that I've got two pins down here either side, is utter rubbish. You need to be a centimetre, okay, 10 millimetres, or about 1/4 of an inch for those of you which are in the US, in front of the centre of those marks, because mine, it death spiraled on me and it just reeked being tail heavy on the official CG line, or their marked CG line. Actually, you need to be 10 millimetres in front of that. So let's start with that one. With the, you've got a fellow flyer up there. Oop. There you go, death spiral. Classic tail heaviness. That's the only thing which I can say they got wrong. Okay, CG is definitely incorrect. Also, as you may have just heard, that the lid has just been and fallen off. Also, we noticed, and I'm sure you've probably already seen in the Maiden video, is that despite us having, in fact I'm going to unplug this now, is that despite us having 4 magnets on these on the lid, so there's 2 at the back and there's 2 at the front as well. Okay, despite having 4 magnets to hold this lid down, and it probably won't go down very well because there's wires hanging out the side of it, is that this lid did just blow off. Okay, so it's going to take somebody a little bit more creative than me to solve that, because all I did was just stick some sellotape over the nose and that stopped the nose flying off. Okay, so like I said, I'm trying to give this like into a fairest light as possible to cover the bad points and also the good points with you. And at the moment, we've just hovered on 2 bad points. The major one actually is the bloody lid flying off. That is very frustrating. So you would need to come up with something with a little bit more flair than what they have, because those 2 magnets are just completely useless. Oh, and a side note, I'll put a link to the video camera which I used, the FPV camera which I used, because it was absolutely rubbish, in short, and we've lost it, and thank goodness for that. That was an Eachine 1000 TVL CCD camera, and it was the worst camera I've probably ever owned, and you can just imagine how many FPV cameras I've been through. So yeah, I know no love lost with that one going out the door. So yeah, talking about the nose cone, that did work really well. It will hold a leaf on the end very well. You wait till you see the FPV footage. Yeah, just the leaf just stuck on the end and we had to land it. Coming on back onto the rest of the model itself, the EPP foam really has lived up to everything which we have become to expect from black moulded EPP foam, which is ridiculously tough. Now, Andrew flew this into a tree at full knacker.
Jesus.
That dug down a bit then, didn't it? You were there. Oh, landed! No, perched.
Still up there.
It's still up there. Which tree was it?
I know where it is. I saw exactly where it landed. I don't think there's a battery in it anymore though.
Is it gone a bit dead? on 3S, I hasten to add, and it did rip the wing off, which you can probably tell. I'll tell you what, let me just put this down on the desk and I'll zoom in a touch. Okay, so as you can probably tell, just here, okay, by the amount of hot glue, is that this wing was actually ripped off. Okay, and I need to get the zoom going back the other way. There we go. Let me turn it around the other side, and yeah, you can only just imagine how much damage was done to that. This whole section was ripped off. You can see the hot glue in there. Also, we did break the motor mount off, not once but twice as well, and I used E6000 glue on it in the first place. It wasn't the glue which failed, it was the foam which failed on the motor mount itself. The motor mount is an area of weakness. It's not much of a weakness now because we have injected far too much hot glue in this motor mount area, and that has actually stiffened it up loads. So, well, actually you can probably see there's a little crack just from flexing just over there. So yeah, actually what I'm saying right now, what I'm thinking right now, probably the biggest weakness like overall for the model, besides the lid flying off and the CG being incorrect, is the motor mount area. Yeah, you definitely do want to make sure that motor mount is really stuck on there, and don't be surprised if it falls off on a bad landing. Okay, you'll also see the wing. In fact, about time we zoom back out again, isn't it? You'll also see the winglet got an absolute beating. The rear fins got an absolute beating again with the motor mount coming off, and the motor still going around. It did all get chopped up. That is to be expected. We did break the wing. We did, in fact, I think Andrew almost snapped the carbon fibre in one side. We did clip the wing with this great big cut in that side. The other side is showing signs of damage. Now, just be fully aware is that this poor little wing received about 6 months worth of abuse by a normal pilot in a day, because I gave it to Andrew and I said, go on, rag the nuts off that one, don't worry about it if you smash it up. And he didn't hold back at all in true form. And also Austin rode her hard and put her away wet on 4S. And he came round in a big loop, and it just didn't have there was just too much flex in these elevons, not enough guts in the servos, because he was on full knacker on 4S, and there's not enough power coming out of the ESC, and it just wouldn't pull up, and it went smash into the ground. So when I say that this wing got 6 months worth of abuse in 24 hours, I can assure you this wing really did get 6 months worth of abuse in 24 hours. So let's just quickly recap. CG 10mm forwards. Motor mount a little bit iffy. Black EPP foam, whoa, right up there. Okay, absolutely brilliant. And the elevons at extremes, 4S, okay, with an underpowered ESC and not enough ground clearance, will lead to not good fun and probably a long walk of shame. Let's get to the positive side, okay, which is once I got this model trimmed in, and I did have the elevons level to begin with, this is like a good starting point, and I had to put loads of right trim in there, and I had to put a little bit of up trim in there as well. Once I got it to fly straight, and that's just part of setting up any model, isn't it? Once we chuck it, you never know what's going to happen in the sky, and again, we do have a pokey motor on the back, so we were trying to combat some torque roll at the same time. The second I got it trimmed, and I'm sure you saw this in the flight footage, I didn't hold back. It's with that motor and ESC combo, and again I'll put the full setup details of what I'm using in the video description below for you, is that it had unlimited vertical, the rolls were extremely axial, it went exactly where I pointed it, okay? So we've covered the negative points, this is a big positive point. The model went where I pointed it to go.
It kicks around, so we need more nose weight. Which is no issue, we've got about another inch to go in the nose for the battery. Yeah. It's enough to pay nice.
Yep. The chance of me filming this is zilch.
It's quite speedy, isn't it? flying this on a windy day, it would be a right handful. Bit more expo needed on the elevator as well, as well as a bit fishy.
Yeah, you try filming it.
It's going, bye plane! So that was unlimited vertical with rolling at the same time. Oh, it's got a little whistle to it. Did you hear that?
There was only one little bad trait when it was flying, is that if you did bank the wing over, okay, it would lose height. Okay, I did spot that a few times, so just be prepared to maybe give her a little bit of up and then bank. Okay, you'll find that when if you're going to get one, you'll find that you'll work that out very quickly. Is that sometimes it will dig the wing in and then it will drop down to the ground. So you need to be putting up as you're banking. It's something which I kind of just like instinctively. Once did it to me once, I knew to expect it, and then I just worked around it, and you saw how fast I was spinning it around in figures of 8 in front of me. Brilliant. Also, staying on the positive side here as well, this model makes a little whooshy noise. Absolutely cool. In fact, I will put an insert in the bottom right-hand corner for you now.
It's going, bye plane! So that was unlimited vertical with rolling at the same time. Oh, it's got a little whistle to it. Did you hear that?
Hell yeah! Does make a little whooshy noise. Do like it just because of that, to be frankly honest. Now, when we flew at FPV, this wing does have some waggle in it. Now, is that any big surprise? No, it's not any big surprise, to be brutally honest. It's a tiny little model. This thing is smaller than a Wing Z84. I think it's 640 millimeters. I'll put the proper dimensions down the bottom because I know that I'm wrong. And yeah, it's a tiny little model. We are expecting some waggle out of a model this big. It doesn't have much washout on the wingtips, which would help combat that. It was a less than ideal day. It was windy. We were getting a crosswind up there. So when we did fly at FPV, we were getting some waggle in there. Am I going to make a big issue of that? No, not at all. It's, to be frankly, almost to be expected for a model of this size in the wind conditions which we had. Right, that is pretty much the little black wing. Now, the bit which is bugging me, and again, this is why I'm leaving this to you so that you can make your informed decision about this wing, because remember, I bought this one out of my own money. We rid it hard and put her away wet yesterday. This wing has received a lot of abuse, and it's still in one bloody piece. It wouldn't freaking die. Keep that in the back of your mind. The issue which I've got is that the Wing Z84 is, while not specifically set up for FPV like this one is, and for carrying a HD camera, okay, and while it's not made out of black EPP foam, okay, is that it is cheaper and it can be converted to FPV, and it does perform fantastically well. The Wing Z84 for me is potentially one of the best RC models ever made, and this wing doesn't, at the moment, I don't feel that it's anywhere near that kind of league, because the Z84 is such a proven airframe and does fantastically well. Whereas this one, the stuff which we did to this one today, you after the first hit, that would have probably have been the end of the Z84. Whereas this one did take a hit, we could repair it, we did repair it, and then we went on to ride her hard afterwards. Okay, so that's the little bit of torment which I'm in as a reviewer, is that I feel personally that a Z84 could be a better choice for you overall, but then again, it does require some work to convert it to FPV, and this one does not. The Z84 is made out of EPO foam, which will snap at every available opportunity, whereas black EPP is tough as old boots. I'm sure you saw some of the smacks this model received on its maiden and during its first flights. And we hammered the nuts off this thing, and it's still alive, it's still here, and it can still fly. Again, granted, we need to put a camera in the nose, and we do need to run it with a bit of tape on the top, and it's obviously not as pretty as she once was, but ultimately she did fly alright for what was a small wing. Oh, one other big point, massive point. I can't believe I've forgotten about this until now. On other black models like the Reptile S800, is that I did get disorientated with that wing because it was black both sides and there was no distinguishing real features. This one, because of its ears, and this is why I'm calling it the bat wing, okay, because of these big, turn it around that way, so because of these big fins on the top, is that it is extremely distinctive in the sky. And I'm sure you saw in the Maiden footage is that I would spin it into the sky, and at no point did I feel disorientated with the wing. And I do know I would class myself as a moderately good pilot, okay, which I would class myself as experienced, put it that way. I did not feel disorientated with this wing. Okay, no more disorientated than you would probably feel with a Wing Z84, because we know that those get small in the sky fast. This thing also got small in the sky fast as well. So there you go. To quickly recap the things which I've mentioned: black EPP foam, tough as old boots. This thing got ridden hard and put away wet, and it will still fly today. The canopy does fly off. You need to find your own solution. We went with crude, we put some tape on it. The CG needs to be 10 centimeters forwards, 10 millimeters forwards from the center mark shown on here. That's where we got it to fly really well. The motor mount is a weakness area. Okay, it's probably much better now since we've been and filled all the back of the foam up just by stuffing the hot glue gun in there and filling it up with hot glue gun. This model can take a smack. Okay, you can see the state of this poor little thing. It will take a smack. It does have some waggle in the sky as well. Like I said, let's be fair here, it's to be expected. It's a tiny little wing and it was less than perfect flying conditions. As far as setup, you can put a 1.3 3S battery pack in the nose and it will balance. You can run this on a 2200 3S pack as well, and it will also balance as well, so it will accept a variety of batteries. To build this model was very straightforward. Glue on a couple of wings, glue in some fins, stick a motor mount on the back, and again I did mod mine with the motor mount on the back, which I'm going to put up there on the camera so hopefully you can see what I've been and done there with mine, and I will put a link to this extension block in the video description for you. And yeah, overall it flew alright. I can't believe that this wing is still alive after the grief which we gave it. And in fact, I'll tell you what, we're out flying on Sunday. I'm going to get a go. Well, there's not much which I need to do. All I need to do is stick the camera in the front, and she's ready for FPV again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and give it to some of the other lads. It's like a dirty moped, isn't it? You pass it around your mates and whatever. Anyway, I'm going to get this one ready for FPV again. Needs to sit the transmitter on a camera in the nose. I'm going to give it to the lads on the flight line and go, look, the only remits, if you stuff it somewhere, you've got to go and get it. Besides that, I don't care. If you smash it up, it's not the end of the world. Because I reckon I can do this to give that kind of confidence to another pilot to go, look, just go rag the nuts off it. And with the premise that you go and get it if you stuff it. Because I think it will hold up. And if it breaks, then we're just going to go and get the hot glue gun out, stick some hot glue in it, as we did, stick some tape on it, and it's going to be flight worthy again. It's nuts. So you can kind of understand now why I've been in a little bit of a torment about this wing. For me, it doesn't have the efficiency or the elegance of maybe what a Z84 has. But on the flip side, this thing it's black EPP. It is tough as old boots. This is why I need to leave this one to you so that you can make your own decision. And by the way, do let me know what you think about this wing. Let me know how, if anything which I've said here is maybe influenced you in one direction or the other. I would really appreciate your feedback on this one, because as a reviewer, I'm struggling. It's not a Z84. It's something different. It's something which can be really hammered hard, and it has survived for us so far. So let me know in the comment section underneath this video. I would really like to hear from you. So with that said, I would like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to watch this video. Do keep in the back of your mind, this model was not a freebie for review. This model was bought out of my own money from my own abuses, and as you can clearly see, she was abused. All links in the video description are affiliate links. That does mean that if you use any of those and go on to make a purchase, you will be supporting this channel, something which I like to be 100% clear about here at Rag the Nuts Off. And of course, if you have any questions about this model, keep in the back. Like I said, but at my own cash, I will give you my honest answer. So with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm off now, and I'll see you again shortly. Cheerios!